Over to the coach. Joe?
Okay, guys.
I'll be back.
I'm a Division III coach, so some of the things I'm going to tell you are just broad because we recruit differently because we don't give athletic scholarships. But the when and where, sophomore year, actually you should be starting then. You should be getting information together, getting letters out to prospective coaches. There are rules and regulations what coaches can, how and when they can talk to you. You can contact them at any time. They're limited to what they can do to contact you. There's just been some change in the past week as far as texting and that. I can't talk about it. I don't know. I haven't gotten the information yet on it. So, but if you send something to a coach and he doesn't get back to you, doesn't mean he has no interest. You have to get around getting in touch with him. You have your coach get in touch with him. You have, if somebody trains your team, if he knows that coach, that person can get in touch with them. Then they can talk with you. They can answer your phone call. If you leave a message, they can't call you back. If you go to the school, they can talk to you at the school. So if you go to whatever school you might be, if you want to go up to Stony Brook or to Hofstra, to St. John's, let's say you want to stay local, and you go there, even as sophomores, they can talk to you when you go in. Otherwise, they can't talk to you. They can't offer you any money until you complete your junior year. Now you hear, well, I know somebody who's a sophomore. I think on the girls' side, it seems to start younger. She's a sophomore and she's been offered this, that, and the other thing. Well, those are unofficial. There's nothing concrete until you sign a national letter of intent, which guarantees that they're going to pay you for 1 year only. Each scholarship is renewable every year. There's some talk of 4-year scholarships that are taking place now. Again, I don't know that much about that. It hasn't filtered, as far as I know, it hasn't filtered down to soccer yet. But if somebody tells you, I got a 4-year scholarship to Notre Dame, tell them when you graduate, not tell them, but after they graduate, find out if they got the full 4-year scholarship. A coach can take a scholarship back from you. You don't really have to have a reason. That normally doesn't happen. But if your grades fall, obviously below a certain, it's 2.0 you must have. You can't play. I think Pat mentioned it before. That's why you would have to take a summer class, or 2 maybe, whatever it is, to bring you up. If you play a second sport, let's say you play baseball. Most Division I schools you can't do both, but let's say you did play baseball at a Division II school. You played soccer in the fall, you played well, but academically you didn't do well. If you fell below a 2.0, you wouldn't be able to play baseball in the spring unless you went to maybe an intersession over the winter and got your total grade point average back over a 2.0. As Pat said, and when I interjected, about 90% of scholarships in this country are academic scholarships. So it's grades, grades, grades. When you hear about, oh, this guy got a scholarship, this gal got a scholarship, it's normally for what? Football or basketball. That's where the big money, because those 2 programs make money. There's very few soccer programs that make money for the college. Most of them, as a matter of fact, they lose money, it costs them money. There's a handful, but very few. Anyhow, sophomore year is a good time to start. Have lots of options. You really should start, when you start in your sophomore year, your junior year, start narrowing down. Pick 10 or 12 schools that fit you academically, 10 or 12 that fit you athletically. You may be the best player, I'm just using you, the best player on your team and say, well, I'm going to go to, pick out any of the better programs in the country, Indiana. Well, you may be the best here, but there's best players in every other state looking to go there. So you may go to Indiana and they may look at you and say, sorry son, you can come here and you can try as a walk-on, but we're not going to give you any money to come here. So you have to be realistic where you can play, and then realistic where you can manage in the classroom. I have a girl that played for me that went to UConn. We seem to have a lot of UConn connections. She went up there. Her mother was a dean at Columbia. Could have got her up there for nothing. She said, Mom, I struggle. How am I going to deal with an Ivy League school? She went up there as a walk-on, eventually became a starting goalkeeper, and then played as the national team goalkeeper for Greece against the U.S. when they held the Olympics in Greece a couple of years ago. But she was at least smart enough to realize that what she could do academically. And that, remember, bottom line, why are you going to college? To eventually get in there, to do, as Pat said, a 40-year education, but to eventually get a job, so you have to get a degree. then get your job. So that's what you're looking to go to college for.